Hello there, another episode of Boise's Bricks and Bits, and oh yeah, finally, Lego replaced it quite quick actually, because the original one I received had a broken up box. But do you know what, I thought I'd do a little bit of a master build series. So this is just part one of a 3-part. This is Lego set 75290 and it's the Mos Eisley Cantina. I wasn't going to get this, you know. I kind of looked at it and just thought, well, I've got an older model, I've got an older version, you know. It's only a little thing like a playset, but it's still quite a decent little thing. And I thought, well, do I want this? And then I don't know. Within a day, I just looked at the characters, like the minifigures more, and thought, what a variety. And I kind of, because one that I'm not going to say I missed out on. I just decided I didn't want it. Was the Cloud City that has recently retired, and I even had opportunities to buy that at a cheaper rate, but I don't know, there's just something about it, just I don't know, I just didn't really like it. And this I thought was just uninteresting, but I think I was wrong. You know, the variety of minifigures is absolutely superb. I can't say the build was that complicated, but it's a good build and it's a decent model, you know, once it all opens up and everything. And we'll have a closer look at that anyway, and all the detailing the doors that open, and you know, the ins and outs. You know, the new speeder that comes with it. You get another dewback, some sand troopers. I was quite excited to get the band members. You know, from when I was given the older set that I've got from my brother-in-law, and I've probably mentioned this a few times. I got none of the minifigures, so I tried to sort of get bits and pieces here and there. Had a dewback, funny enough, just never had none of the minifigures, and so now it's quite nice to, I suppose, in one swoop, kind of got all of this. And I got the little Yoda lightsaber, which I think is really cool. I've done a video on that already. So yeah, let's have a little let's have a look at this. Wooher the Bartender, another little figure you get with this set. My brother-in-law gave me that other Cantina set, but all the minifigures were missing. So I kind of collected a couple. Already had a Han from another set that I kind of added to it. But one of the things I wanted was the band members. And looking at the prices, they're expensive. And you know what? I nearly pulled the trigger a couple of times. And you know what? I'm glad I didn't now, because now that I've got this set, I've got 3 of them. I think they're absolutely fantastic, cool little figures. Well, here we have another famous scene. Greedo obviously wants to take Han to Jabba, get his reward, whether it's dead or alive. I don't think he really cares. But there's always been one question: who shot first? There's no doubt in my mind. Herchek Van Kas. Herchek Kalfas, I believe is this crocodile guy's name. Again, another good little figure, but yeah, that's his name. I'm sure by now any Lego collector is going to have R2-D2s and C-3POs coming out there. Yeah. But one thing I will say is this particular little R2, I do believe there's a difference. Now, the R2 to my right, I've had for, I think, quite a long time. I don't even know what set he comes from anymore. I've got so many R2s about. But the one on my left, as you can see, he's definitely got some more brightness in certain colours, even some different shapes. I'm not saying he's totally different, but there is those slight little variations if you look close enough. That I don't know if this is unique to this set, or if there is any other R2s. I've not, you know, I only just go through and look at all my R2s. But I just feel like this one seems a little different than normal. I mean, you know, a little bit might be square rather than circle, or definitely some brightness there. But there's little subtle changes, not much, but it's still possibly unique. I'm not sure. If anyone knows there's other versions of this in other sets, then put it in the comments, let me know. But, you know, as far as I can see, he's definitely a bit newer and fresher than what we've had before. Do you know, I've never actually counted how many Obi-Wans there are throughout all the Lego sets, and I'm sure there's quite a lot. But yeah, we have another one, and do you know what I like about these ones are, you know, I think in the there was a little kids play set which was the Death Star set, and I like this. I like the solid hood. you know, and again this one has kind of got that solid hood again, and I like that. I think it's quite a nice touch. Another Luke. And this is what I like about this set. You know, it's just got such a variety of sort of personalities and characters. You know, within just one scene anyway, within the, you know, in the film, and you know, Cape, cute little bat-like sentient being, I suppose. But yeah, you know, I think they've done a good job of him. Like I said, variety. You know, you get a little Jawa with this as well. Now this chap, I'm not even going to pretend I know his name off by heart. So, his name is Kardu Sai Maluk, and he's a Devaronian. Now I don't know about that. When I see him in the film, he looks like a deviant to me. But anyway, and apparently he's some kind of war criminal, and he now goes by the name of Labria. Again, awesome little character. I think he's pretty cool. Like I said, in the film, he definitely looks seedy. I'm not sure. I have to look this up. Is he the guy that's actually a woman who plays the original character? Could be. Look that up. Momal Naden. And you know what? I think it's awesome having an Ivorian. Even in, I believe, in the Bane trilogy, when Bane and his apprentice Zana took on about 4 or 5 Jedi Knights, one of them was an Ivorian who had, I think his ability was to actually shield the next person, or he had that type of shielding type power, you know, power that he gained. But I remember as a kid playing with the toys and that as well. So I think it's real cool having one of these figures. What can I say? Han, Chewie, you couldn't have this set without them. And also, Greedo. Ponde Baba and Dr. Evazan. I mean, they're the two not so nice folk that kind of start a fight with Luke at the bar before getting dealt with by Obi-Wan. Garandan. Again, cool little figure, but pretty much a grass. He's a guy who sort of follows spots and kind of like grasses them up to the stormtroopers. Sand Troopers, I think they're awesome little minifigures, and I think I bought one from a previous set because again the minifigures were missing, and it weren't cheap. You know, I think it cost me a good 15 odd quid or so at the time, and I had a due back anyway, luckily. And I will, when I have a little closer look, I will look at the detail differences between the two. So just before I get to the Master Builders series, this is set number 75052. This is the one that my brother-in-law gave to me, but all the minifigures were missing, so you know I kind of replaced a couple or got from other sets. Because the Greedo I bought, I think that's from the slightly newer Cantina, and that's the Solo from the Millennium Falcon 7965. So you know I got odds and sods, and I got a speeder separately, and you know I had a due back anyway, and then I bought the Sand Trooper because I kind of thought he was quite a cool figure in himself. And again, in a smaller scale, it's very, very similar. Obviously a lot less detail, not as much build, a hell of a lot less pieces, but generally, one little thing is you do have this. You just push the back in, it just kind of like pops the actual seating area out, which I think is quite cool. So, you know, whether I use this just to add to the buildings as such in the way I display it with the, you know, with the other Cantina set, or, you know, I give it to the little man, or I kind of put it away. You know, either way, it's still a good little set. I can't particularly say this set's going to have much value now, as much as before. Collector-wise, maybe. If you're going to make a mock, it certainly comes with a lot of bricks that you can still use. Yeah, so that's just a little look at that. Now the dewbacks. And here we have 2 dewbacks and 2 sand troopers. Can I tell the difference? Do you know what? I've just spotted something different on these straight away that I can actually tell the difference purely because I remember putting it together. This is the older one. I just remember putting the guns in, plus the little lightsaber bit that connects this. Different colour. Is it a lightsaber bit? Yeah, it is a lightsaber bit. But you know, some of the detailing that I'm surprised the newer one didn't have is this. If I open his mouth, just broke his jaw. He has teeth. I mean, you've got teeth on the bottom as well. But you know, there is actually some printed teeth on the top there. With the newer one, they obviously felt it not important to put the teeth. I kind of like the old one. I think that's quite a good touch. I'm glad I got both anyway, because you know, again, they're gonna stand side by side with the displayed set. Again, I mean, okay, I think some of the spots might be a little bit slightly different patterned, but generally, you know, they're pretty much the same, even to the dimples around the back, the tail. There isn't much of a difference other than maybe the eyes are a bit different, and like I said, the teeth on the top jaw is something that's missing from them. But apart from that, I have 2 dewbacks now. Okay, so looking at the actual builds itself, so you had this little space hoppery type something, and it seemed to be designed for Greedo, and fair enough, you know, it's a little space. It must be his little vehicle to travel around. Good little build, nothing special about it, but it is what it is. He just sits inside there. I think they've done quite a good job of this new speeder. And I mean, I've got the old speeders, and it's a shame they haven't actually done a UCS version of that yet, or a special edition of it as such. But do you know what? The speeder's a speeder. I suppose they're minifigure scale. And this is the croc with the name I can't really pronounce very well. But again, you know, it's a good little ship. I quite enjoyed the build of it, actually. You know, in the future, you never know. They might decide to do something more special with this if it gets a bit more popular. But again, nice little build. And one thing I want to mention about this particular set, every section, so you know, your Lego sets are typically bagged, you know, 1 all the way up to whatever number it goes up to, and every section you follow section 1 with bag 1s, and then all the, you know, section 2 with all the, you know, bag number 2s, and so on and so forth. But it was quite nice that every section you virtually got a minifigure. So it's kind of like you finish one section, and you get, you know, as soon as you start the next one, you get the next minifigure. You finish that section, you start the next, you get another little minifigure, which is quite cool. It was just quite nice to, you know, get that little minifigure build at the beginning of each one, and kind of as you see them kind of like amass to the amount they are. So it's interesting this. So you got, I believe what they done with some of this set is they actually started designing features themselves. So I think with permissions, they took the liberty of adding little extras here and there. And I think that's what we've kind of got in these shops. So, you know, you got this one, the kind of roof comes off, and you can kind of see a few little bits and pieces in there. The thing is, I moved it around so much, little parts kind of tend to fall off. I mean, you give this to the kid and it could withstand so much, but it's gonna get torn apart. You know, and this is like the little Jawas shop in a sense. It kind of, again, it opens up. Got the shop front. It's a nice little build, you know, in itself. And this, I know this one actually attaches to the main build once it opens up. I don't believe this one does it. I don't know what. Actually, no. I think that's actually for its. No, I don't think this one's designed to actually fit. Do you know what? I'm actually questioning that now, because it does actually have a couple of connections here, but at the same time, that could actually be for this as well. As that kind of can connect to this, or it can connect up there. Just having a quick whiz around with this in case there's something else I missed. No, definitely. So yeah, it seems like these can actually connect together, or this one connects to there as a. Oh, blimmin' heck! No, I really am wrong. I've even just discovered actually this has 2 connectors on either side. So therefore, when this is fully open, this connects to this, and then the little Jawas building can connect to that. So you can kind of almost have a complete super connection all the way along. I'm learning myself here. Just with this little bits of detailing as well here, because you've got the doors that open, which is quite. I think they've been done quite nicely. You know, some of the roof bits open. You know, these domes. Again, you've got another little door that opens this side. Yep, little chest. I mean, there's so many intricate little bits and pieces that I have to say I built this a little while ago. And I've kind of forgotten what all these little bits are. It's almost like I've just left it, come back to it, and suddenly I'm rediscovering all these little bits and pieces. So before you actually open up the build itself, you do just take off, that's kind of like the roof, just finishes off the top of that. Let's move these two out of the way for a moment. So as you can see, the entire thing opens up, which is quite nice. You know, and this certainly allows you to recreate scenes, and you know, from an earlier picture you kind of saw this bit, especially when you know, Luke gets attacked and Obi-Wan comes to his rescue, whips out that saber and, you know, chops the guy's arm off. It's a pleasurable set, and as you saw in that other little bit I done as well, you got these little mechanisms on the back. Now, for some reason, it's built on both sides, so you can either have Greedo fall out, or you can even have Han fall out. So it's just these little mechanisms at the back here. Let's turn that around. Yeah, just here. That's what sort of controls the little ejector seat bits, I suppose. As you know, at the back of it, that kind of ejects it out. Why they put one on Han's side, I'm not quite sure. I mean, I suppose if somebody really wants to go against the grain and says Greedo shot first, I suppose you can make it the other way in your own fantasy world as Star Wars. But no, you know, for me, I think the detailing is quite good. It was a pleasure to build. I mean, I suppose it can be repetitive, but do you know what? For me, I just relaxed, chilled, took my time, done bit by bit, until the whole model was kind of complete. Now, my biggest problem is how I'm going to display it. I believe I've got the room to have it open and stored away, you know, in safety behind glass. That I will have to see. But I think it's a nice set. You know, my initial, no, I'm not getting this. I'm not spending another penny on this set because, you know, I think Lego got this wrong is all nonsense. I really enjoyed it. I truly believe it needs to be got if you're a fan. You know, if you've got the money for this, or just wait for it to be, you know, these sets tend to reduce after a while anyway. Even if it is 10, 20, 30% off from the right supplier as such. No, it's a great set. It was definitely fun. And you know, if you have got some of those older Cantina sets, you can kind of, I suppose you could mod it up and just design your own and make the, you know, build your entire sort of Mos Eisley and, you know, Tatooine's. I mean, I've got Jabba's barge, I've got the Sarlacc pit, you know, so there's a few other bit odds and sods that I've got. You know, if you get Obi-Wan's hut, you know, all of these kind of contribute because they're all generally the same types of bricks and builds, so you'll just end up making a city just from the sets alone, let alone any mocks you kind of build or design or create. So anyway, you know, that's my little review on the Mos Eisley Cantina. Thank you all for watching. You know, if you like the vid, please like. If you haven't, please subscribe. And I wish you all a nice day.